Greetings, greetings, greetings. Welcome to the Snake Tree Lounge. My name is Cree, and I'm so glad that you found me, and I'm so glad that I have the opportunity to channel and read for you today. I welcome in all levels of support from heaven and earth. I I welcome in all levels of support from heaven and earth. Oh, I welcome in all levels of support from heaven and earth. Oh, I welcome in all levels of support from heaven and earth, from heaven and earth, from heaven and earth. So, this message I feel is going to be for those who, like, we all live on this earth, and this earth is doing crazy batshit things right now. And not the earth itself, well, yeah, the earth itself as well. The cosmos, our species are all doing really crazy things right now. And I feel like this message is going to be for someone who, in spite of these challenges, in spite of loss, I'm hearing, you've made it your decision, your internal mission to continue to create beauty and abundance despite the loss, the gaslighting, the games being played, the stealing of certain things. That's going to be different for everybody. But the first two cards, is it two? Yes, the first two cards we're getting is the Ten of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups, sorry. So this Ten of Pentacles, I really want to put my glasses on. Hold on. Okay, so this first card, Ten of Pentacles, embrace or seek the fulfillment that comes with a partnership that will help you both attain a great, safe life, multi-generational wealth, and inheritance. So we have an elder holding a hand out, petting a dog, and a couple with a baby. One of the characters is the knight, or looks like a knight, and a woman. So this happy family, this happy life thing may be something that, hold on, maybe something that you crafted before. Like, you didn't let your heart lead, I'm hearing. You let your head lead and your heart followed. But now, in this new time, this Ten of Pentacles is saying that abundance and fulfillment is going to be aligned not just for you, but for future generations because of this fervent leaning into um, authenticity, positivity. Like, I just looked up and saw "Have a nice day" in the window that I have a thing up there. Um, like, even in the stepping back, it's not being like, if you step back from certain people, places, things, ways, actions, it's not as a passive aggressive thing. It's not as a manipulative thing. It is a knowing that following that no longer serves. And you know that your goal, your purpose is to create something that's going to be sustainable, not just for you, but for those who come after you. So if you have children, it's going to be for those who come after you. If you don't have children, then you're creating interactions on a daily basis or doing things that are meant to be for the children of tomorrow, for the world of tomorrow, while impacting in a positive way the now. And then we have the Knight of Cups, carrying the cup of elixir and delivering regardless of challenges, feeling purpose and passion, romance and love seeking. So this card ends up meeting the woman or the character at the at the water and pouring into her cup. So you're headed towards you're headed towards no. What you've been standing in is now going to be headed towards you. That's what it is. This Ten of Pentacles energy that you've been standing in, trying to remain positive, trying to make sure that you're checking yourself. Like, am I doing things that are leaning more towards societal norms and societal thoughts more than they're leaning towards what I know to be true for my responsibilities, my people, and my soul to create that generational wealth, right? And now, because you've been headed towards it, carrying that cup of elixir, like this has been you carrying the cup of elixir into these hearing truth serum, carrying the truth serum around, knowing that sometimes it's a catalyst for some volatile energies, but not being volatile. Like the Knight has the ability and the means to go into battle, but this particular Knight is carrying an elixir and delivering regardless of challenges. So when you show up and put forth that truth serum, the truth of who you really are, the truth of how you really think, the truth of what has really happened in your lived experiences, that elixir being done from a love space. Thank you, Spirit. What else? So, because you've put a lot of energy and time and purpose and shadow work and rearranging into your own living this truth, it's being returned back to you. And in it being returned back to you, you're receiving guidance. Raziel. So I pulled from the Archangel's Oracle just to be like, who's helping? What's coming? Who is your knight potentially in shining armor? Raziel, the inner workings. There are hidden truths below the surface, so dig deeper. So keep on the path, pretty much. Keep on the path. There are hidden truths because not everyone is able to stand in their truth in the moment that truth is asked for. And because of that, there are truths that end up being hidden. Dig deeply into yourself, not in a way of like picking at a wound. Dig deeply into how do you continue to cultivate all the things that you've been cultivating, which I keep catching the glimpse of the bottom card, and it's just, I feel like they're trying to continue this message, so we're gonna do this. Having faith, moving mountains, trust in your ability to create miracles. The impossible is becoming possible. So things are in a crumble right now. My best friend and I like to say that we're all on a roller coaster, and we're like, put your hands out, friend, just wee, because like we don't really know what's going on. Twists and turns, going up, being dropped down. All of the things are happening right now. And we got to have faith that what we're doing internally, what we're doing, like inside ourselves, but also inside of our personal biospheres, is going to move mountains when the time comes. I'm hearing like my son and I do this. He's into like booty bumps right now, which I remember when I was a kid. I used to love doing the butt. What they say. Mm. He don't know nothing about that, but just organically, he's really into like running up and bumping, bumping each other with our butts, and he thinks it's the funniest thing. He'll do it 50 times a day. And the other day he said it's like tectonic plates moving, coming together, moving things around. So that's sort of how it is. But your spirit guides and your team are trying to remind you that you're on the right side of the game. Like, yes, it's a collision, and yes, if the person is really putting all their momentum into it, it can pop you apart. But you're still like, we're still in the same home, we're still in the same fun space. So just remember that moving of mountains can cause disruption, but ultimately it brings about positive change if we have faith that that is what it's going to do, and not uh I'm hearing faith over fear. 1739 when I looked at the clock, just in case that's a number you want to look up. And then we have Michael, spiritual ascension. You are experiencing spiritual upgrades. Move forward. So don't stop. Don't stop me now. I'm having such a good time. I'm having a ball. Like, really remember that you are able to still enjoy life at this time. Not let life, not let living at this time destroy your life, is what I'm hearing. Thank you all. I also want to point out that all of these individuals, angels that came out in these depictions, are melanated. So do with that what you will, but there are a lot of non-melanated, non-melanin activated depictions in this deck, and none of these are that. I'll show them to you. So we have Raziel, Faith, and Michael. Which is giving me Native and Indigenous, African or African American, Afro Cuban, Afro Latino. No, very specific. They're being very specific. Afro Cuban, and Indian, Pakistani, Middle Eastern. I'm hearing Gaza. Yeah. Okay, what else, Spirit? Is this the deck? No, this is the deck. This is the deck. 2039, when I just looked up. I want to point out too that angel numbers are not just the repetitive 111, 222, 333, 1111. Those are beautiful. 2057 as I lift up. Beautiful symmetries. But also remember that you have relatives that have birthdays that are numeric. And I know for certain that both of my grandmothers, 2114 on the clock, both of my grandmothers send their numbers to me in my times of need and trouble. How am I supposed to flip this way? Okay. 7 of Wands. You are right. Hold your ground. Any lack in integrity will be your downfall. Defend your land. Continue to stand on higher ground. Have courage in the face of danger. I feel like that's important on the tails of what I just said. Hold your ground. You're right. The new world will require the new you. The new world will require um, a different way of being. And you're starting to cultivate those seeds now. You're starting to plant that garden now. And it could be an actual physical garden with things in it, or it could be a garden of self. It could be a garden of a new space to be. But you're on a different plateau. Okay, you're in a different plateau. And this Seven of Wands, every time I see this card, I always like to point out that these uh these contenders, these challengers are seen by you, but maybe not seen by others. Why? Because they're yours to unpack. They're yours to unfold. They're your inner workings. I encourage everyone to go through their natal chart, house by house, placement by placement, and the degree. Pop it in. You can pop it in Google. First house, such and such, at such and such degree, and write down or at least read each and every aspect of your natal chart. That is the birthed in sort of energetic blueprint of who you are. It will start to point out some of the things that you may have been through in childhood. It will definitely help you figure out, like, or sometimes just validate who you feel you've been needing to be. So, and those challenges will be seen by you. They don't really need to be shared with anybody else. But defend your land. Continue to stand on higher ground. And defend your land means the earth. Defend the earth. Do what you can to help Mother Earth within your lane. Because everything ain't for everybody, right? Have courage in the face of danger. Across the globe, this face of danger is showing up, trying to divide us from ourselves and from each other, from our futures, from our kids, from our homes, um, from our land. So have courage. Have courage. You're going through a spiritual acceleration because you put in so much work. There's going to be many people who have not put the work in the way that you've put the work in. I'm hearing you said no in places where the majority of people would say yes because of what it looked like on the surface, but you know what it felt like underneath. And that trusting of that whisper, that trusting of that inner knowing, is you trusting in the God in you. And therefore, that allows that frequency to be open for the angels to come in and continue to guide you. Why? Because you picked up the phone. Thank you, Spirit. So we have creation solo, creation partnered, okay, and sexual. Oh, it's getting spicy, baby. So that we had that Knight of Cups up there, carrying the cup of elixir. Sorry, y'all, my foot is itching, and it's my big toe on my right side. So the big toe is about the brain, the neck, the shoulders, the head. But this is really, it's not the big toe. It's the like the knuckle of the ball of the big toe, which is about the heart space. It's the shoulders going into the heart space on the back of the body. Sorry, give me a second. Yes, on the back of the body. And itching. I just heard my grandmother. You know that mean money, right? She always say anytime your feet or hands itch means money's about to come. So money might be about to come to you. We talked about inheritance. We talked about multi-generational wealth in the beginning. So, and that was your thing from the beginning. So I'm looking at these melanated angel faces, and we know just on the history of just about every single country that the activated melanated people, activated melanin people is how I like to put it, because we all have melanin within our system. It's just either activated or not activated. The activated melanin peoples have been oppressed or have been so indoctrinated into becoming oppressors. So that's that on that. But we have creation solo. So solo magic, really getting into what gives you your zhuzh. what you see moves mountains for you, um, before you give it to others, right? Really make sure that you're pouring into yourself. And saying pouring into yourself, see all this liquid flowing down. So it's giving like you and your favorite toys vibes, you and your favorite magic vibes, like that. And really getting into that, knowing what pleasure feels and looks like for you, because money helps bring pleasurable experiences. So if you are getting into pleasure for yourself, then you're saying, hey, I have space for pleasure. I have space for these experiences, and I'm really getting into it. I'm allowing myself to surrender to it. And then we have creation partnered sex magic. So you have your solo magic, and you have the creation partnered. So also finding yourself, not even finding yourself, no, that doesn't. You may find yourself in a space with someone where that type of energy is being cultivated, and you're meant to play around in it. So this card though, in the right now, is not showing as much sensuality as this card is, the solo card. So I feel like your sensuality and your emotional sensuality is really what you've cultivated with yourself lately. And you're going to be able to take that out into the world and create with others in this very rooted, sacral type of way. But really, the only part that they're holding on to each other with is the arm. So I'm hearing keep it slow, don't rush, because things that are meant for you don't need to be rushed. And then, oh, I'm also hearing keep it on the hush. Don't say nothing. Ain't gonna be no talking while I'm doing my thing. So even if you end up in that deep, sexual, sexy types of places with this person, keep it on the hush. Like that's not a shared space for the world. It's for the two of you to create in that space. And then we have sexuality coming in with these dolphins in the background. There's three dolphins in the background. Um, Two of them are coming up, and one of them is going down. And then we have Guangguani Jimai. I think that's how you pronounce it. Coming up and out as well, giving mermaid vibes, giving siren vibes, giving uh seductress of the deep vibes. Again, um, all melanated characters. And not every character in this deck is melanated. So that is very important in this message, you guys. Not saying that it can't resonate for others, but I really feel like from a melanin activated peoples, this is definitely your message, babe. So there's a crown. She's highly adorned. Um, she's highly adorned. She's not clothed. So I think that's, there's a vulnerability to being unclothed and open while still being regally adorned. There's a lot of water here too, which is about emotions. And getting into an emotional depth can feel very sensual and very connected. Um, and the energy that's coming in, this elixir, maybe you've had some situations in the recent past that, yeah, I'm hearing in the recent past or in the past where you really felt like you knew your mission, you knew your goal, and you connected with someone, and yeah, no, this is going to be the it's the final countdown. This is part of the final elixirs of what is closing out this cycle that you already know is coming to a close. You already know the mountains are being moved. You're already on this spiritual acceleration. I'm hearing AP courses, gifted and talented. That might be important to you as well. And when I hear that when I'm looking at the spiritual acceleration card, which is the card that gives me native indigenous vibes. So, and then it's making me think about the historic, like, indoctrination of indigenous peoples, of like taking them out of their indigenous ways and placing them into reservations and putting them into sanctioned schools and taking away language and taking away culture and forcing upon other things. But I feel like that's coming out because you've self cultivated and you're being rewarded. Anything else from this deck, Spirit? What card is that? No, that's not the card. Okay, we just all the rest of them were like, ah, no. No more. I feel like they're trying to give me multiple cards. Multiple cards keep doing weird things. Both of these. More of these. So we have Santa Muerte, which is offerings, and we have compassion. Duro Ile. Ile? Duroile. Compassion. So this card it's given Dia los Muertes, Day of the Dead vibes, because we have the offering tables, we have the scales, the skeleton has a scythe. So ensuring that you're honoring your own deaths and rebirths that have created this just, I'm hearing justification and justice balance. Having that conversation with your ancestors, like really being like, hey, this, and that has changed. I'm so grateful for your guidance. And creating that altar that's going to share with them. My elbow got stuck to this Smeg's Magic creation partnered. So part of it is also going to be creating, co-creating with your ancestors in a very outward way. So if you have a, because this is Santa Muerte, but if I'm thinking Santeria, so some of the other spiritual, magical root work lineages, embracing what stands forth for you in those. And then this other one is Duro Ile, which is compassion. And this one is our first lighter complected being. And I feel like, well, that's an interesting message, Spirit. So this person is sitting in a desert with mala beads, covered in vines and surrounded by cacti, which cacti hold water, but it's also a task to get to it. I feel like, yeah, I feel like Spirit is asking for us as activated melanin people to hold an internal level of compassion for those who are a part of this other sector of humanity, who have sort of found the way into a compassionate way of being and found their way into a higher vibration of self, because they're in the weeds, they're in the desert, their own people wilding. So, and it's, yeah, so holding the compassion for those who hold compassion for you, no matter how they look. But this message, I feel like that's not the root of the message. That's just something the Spirit is being like, make sure that we're still doing unto others as we want to be done unto, until they try to check and see if you're the one or the two. Okay? All right, I think that's the end of the message. Last word, I felt called all message to read this board that I have up here. I open myself, which is very similar verbiage to this mantra that I received earlier in that other reading. I open myself to love, and I share and accept love from and of others. I open myself to joy, and I share and accept love of others. I'm sorry, joy of others. I open myself to peace, and I share and accept peace of others. I open myself to growth, and I congratulate and accept the growth of others. I open myself to freedom, and I congratulate and accept the freedom of others. I open myself to blessings and truth, and I accept and honor the blessings and truth of others. So, I hope you guys are creating a great day. I hope that this message has helped to confirm, affirm, or fortify um, something that you're already seeing, feeling, hearing, smelling, thinking about, or is coming to you. Thank you so much for listening. I'm going to close out. Ashe, I mean, namaste, and mahalo. Check me out on www.somimbowellness.com to book personal oracle readings, personal. Sorry if I'm pointing. I don't know why I'm pointing, but it just feels good. It's the mudra that feels good. Personal coaching sessions, distance Reiki sessions, distance sound. I do a whole bunch of things. So check out my website, and if you ever want to make a donation, you can definitely do that through my business name as well. All right. Well, great day, y'all. Love you much. Bye.